with women in law enforcement, a career field long dominated by men. But there are more than a few women in blue that are breaking down barriers in Massachusetts.
I think I'm just that child that had those dreams of becoming a police officer. I grew up with a father being a police officer.
My senior year of high school, my guidance counselor had recommended that I go into criminal justice classes in college.
My plan had been to go to law school, and then part of that course of study was taking some criminal justice classes. And I had an interest in it, and I was actually more skilled in it.
At three very different stages of life, these three women all had the same goal: to one day protect and serve their communities, becoming women in blue. Out of 351 communities in the Commonwealth, there are fewer than 10 women police chiefs. Chiefs Casper, Wickland, and Gunderson are among this group, proudly serving Western Massachusetts.
I was born and raised here, and then worked at Mount Holyoke, and then worked for a short time for the Hatfield Police Department as a part-timer, and then joined Northampton PD in 1998, and I've been with them ever since.
I'm born and raised in the little hill towns of Western Mass, and that's where I started, and then I've been in Williamsburg ever since.
I grew up outside of Boston, and it was by chance I had friends that had heard that Amherst was hiring and offering a test. I took the exam, and I was lucky enough to get hired. Earlier this year, I left Amherst to go to South Hadley.
And they've all become a part of local history. Chiefs Casper and Gunderson are the first women to ever serve in this role at their departments. Chief Wickland is the second. But their journey has not always been easy. In addition to balancing their personal lives, all being mothers, they've also faced obstacles on the job.
I think that you have to live up to the title of Chief of Police, but there's maybe somebody in the wings waiting to see if you're going to fail.
Hearing things like that I was a diversity hire, was really concerning, because I'd spent 24 years as a professional. I worked very hard alongside my male colleagues, and I feel that I was respected in the profession. But I do think we're judged differently.
I do think that in general there's this kind of unconscious bias, I suppose, that people have, and they may say things, communicate with you or something a little bit differently, and you think, oh, if I was male, that person would not have said that way, that sort of thing. But that's okay. That's why I'm in this position, because I like to think that women, we all have led the way for more women to continue to enter the field and to rise up within the ranks.
And one of their top collective priorities is to have more women in leadership roles in law enforcement.
I was the first, full-time sergeant for the department, the first female sergeant for the department. So that was a step up for other people who had come through the department who hadn't taken promotions or gotten promotions.
When I started, it was at 7 or 8%, and it's still at about 7 or 8%. Police departments are larger, but women aren't more members of those departments, so I'm glad to be sitting here with the three of us, but I think that we still need to do work about getting more women into the profession.
I think the best police department is one that is diverse in so many ways, and I don't just mean through race, but it's gender and ethnicity and, life experience and everything that you can bring to it, because we need to be able to go out into our communities and have empathy and understanding with all of our great and various community members.